What is going on YouTube? I'm back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar, DueDEX, and the current coin market cap. Specifically, in today's video, I would like to continue discussing where I left off yesterday, which was in relevance to shorting cryptocurrency, shorting the market, shorting Bitcoin, shorting practically all the cryptos as we anticipate the big drop that is most likely coming for the market. And I do believe it has already started. Specifically looking at Bitcoin and some of the other cryptocurrencies, you can pretty much gather with this information that Bitcoin is on the drop. It is starting to, correct to the downside. This is just the daily, but on the weekly, you can see we are starting that candle that is red. Finally, after weeks of uptrend and bullish movement, we're starting to hit that resistance, and there's a good chance we're going to spiral to the downside, which means it is time to short. I'll be explaining how to do all of that in a second. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up. It helps out the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns relating to the market, crypto, whatever it is that is on your mind, you could just DM me over there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. Alright guys, so before I jump into the video, I just want to give a special shout out to every single person of these 97 people. Literally yesterday, my Patreon blew up astronomical. This is absolutely insane. You can see right here, this is my Patreon for those of you who haven't actually seen it. And I offer a bunch of different tiers with different perks towards each one. The Bitcoin traders, the XRP traders, the gold trader packages, as well as some other levels on here. But we actually hit a crazy goal of 97 Patreons, just 3 away from what I thought would be, an untouchable, goal up there of 100 patrons. I had a goal ever since I first started Patreon to hit 100, and I never thought it would be actually possible, but we are literally 3 patrons away. Now, for those of you that don't know, Patreon is also a group of 97 people currently of dedicated traders that are involved in Bitcoin and XRP, as well as some other things. And there are some other hidden gems within Patreon that I'm not going to spoil for those of you who do not have it. So definitely check it out, guys. All of my trades, stop losses, everything, stop losses. We have the market order, risk management, shorts, leverages, and all of that information as to my specific trades that are live updating, unlike YouTube, which takes a while for me to edit, upload, especially going to work. It's hard to get out, when we know that cryptocurrency is very time specific and time sensitive. So with my Patreon, I can just upload very quickly, post something very quickly, and you guys will be alerted. So definitely make sure to check out my Patreon. We're trying to hit that 100 Patreon goal. And then, honestly, I'm going to have to do some sort of give back or something. I'll figure it out. So definitely make sure to check that out. Huge shout out to everybody. You know who you are. Otherwise, moving on to the market right now. So yesterday we left off at a very interesting video. 2 days ago, you can see right here, it says a day ago, but really 2 days ago, we have bears are back. We were starting to see this fall. And then yesterday's video, we actually saw something that was quite interesting. The fall continued ever so slightly, and then we hit kind of a pickle where we kind of hit our moving average, and it kind of slowed the market back down, ultimately letting us, and I feel like a lot of people kind of question themselves as to whether or not we're actually going to continue breaking lower or if we're going to start to climb back to the upside now. And honestly, I can totally relate to you guys because I was kind of psyched out for 2 seconds, but then I realized something that I feel like probably not a lot of you are paying attention to, and that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. Now, just for a quick recap, market is looking okay. Everything is pretty much, once again, in some sort of consolidation. Nothing is up or down more than like 1%, except for a few tokens like EOS and Ethereum, but everything else is seemingly just trading sideways. 0%, no move within Bitcoin, no move within XRP, at Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin. Everything is pretty much flatlined out right now, which I will show you in a second. Now, when looking at Bitcoin, there's a couple of takeaways I want to point out here. So when I looked at the Bitcoin chart on the daily, and I feel like most of you guys do this, I definitely know I do it, so I'm sure I'm not alone in this. I tend to focus just on the daily charts, maybe even the 4-hour. And what you guys have to understand is the daily and the 4-hour are so insignificant and so small, and they really don't hold up much value in the long-term, side of things. When you look at, cryptocurrency, you have to play a couple of things. Especially me, I've slowly become a conservative trader because I do have a lot of other stuff going on in my life, and I'm sure you guys do too. So I can't spend every second staring at the charts, getting ready to buy in and buy out, making $10, $20, $30, $100. It's so insignificant and small for the massive strain that it puts on me, especially when I was in college. When I first got involved in cryptocurrency, I was glued to my phone in class, glued every possible second I had. I was on my phone looking at the 4-hour and daily charts, getting ready to buy in, sell off, short the market, things of that nature. Well, eventually, with other responsibilities that came, I became way too difficult to pay close attention to this, especially in places where I couldn't have my phone, school, college, but glad that's over. But in reference to moving on to the future now, I've noticed just to relax, to get my emotions outside. I was so intertwined with the market that if, Bitcoin went up a little bit, I was super happy. Even if it was just like $5, $100. If Bitcoin dropped just 10, 15 and I was out $20, even if I was out $250 to be real, I was still very emotionally attached to it. And I've learned to detach myself by a couple of things. I make videos every day, see the market every day. I've grown to distance myself from, what's going on. And I've also, as a conservative trader, learned to pay closer attention to the weekly chart than the 4-hour and sometimes the daily. Now, the daily is definitely important. The 4-hour is extremely important for those short-term traders. But in regards to medium to long-term traders, you guys have to consider a couple of things. There is an uptrend, the daily here. We officially have broken the downtrend. There is a resistance. We broke below it. You can see we do have the uptrend where we have supports being reattempted to make contact with. I definitely consider this to be another uptrend as well. It's got to be, honestly, the way we're hitting it, the way we're playing around with it. There are clear, wow, I just touched my screen to show you guys, but you can see right here, pretty much everywhere there is signs of support. So, I could leave this here. I could move it lower. We'll leave it here for now, but you guys can see we clearly hit the bottom and they're starting to, slowly slide up. I'll move it a little bit over. Okay. Something like this. But ultimately what we're doing is we lowered ourselves on the moving average. We are fairly low on the MACD, but ultimately we're below this resistance. And if we take a step back and look at everything, and I'll share all my trades on Patreon, as you guys know, the market as we speak is in a bearish candle, a red candle, every single time for the past 3 years. Not 1, not 2, but 3 years. Since pretty much the start, since when I got involved in Bitcoin, back when we were shooting up. I remember this exact moment. It's crazy that this is going to be the moment I can relive over and over again, the exact moment that I was. If you guys want to hear what I was doing, that's exact moment of the $20,000 Bitcoin. I'll gladly make a video about it. But we have a resistance. We broke below it. Resistance, wicks, wicks, wicks. No candle closing above it. Fell below. Once again, same thing here. Wicks, wicks, wicks. Fell below it. I can almost guarantee this is going to be the same thing. Wicks. We're going to fall below. This is the long-term chart, the major outlook of things. I would like to say we are fairly overbought and overstretched on the MACD. This is a great example here as reference to what we did prior to the bull run. You can see very closely, if we look at the MACD here, we had a bullish cross right here. Bullish cross, boom. We are extremely overextended. You could see that. Eventually, we reversed down and fell. So the same thing is happening right now, foreshadowing. We have a big bullish cross, very wide mouth. There's a good chance as we're hitting the resistance here, we're going to kind of hit the top and then reverse back down and cross with a bearish crossing. Same thing's happening, guys, so I'm very, very, very diligent that there will be a big reversal and we will drop in price all the way down to ETH. That's why my shorts are in. All of that is on my Patreon for you guys to, check out and understand and ask questions about. It's all there. Check it out. But I am definitely considering this. All my trades will be explained over there. But specifically, for those of you who are still watching, this is probably the most important factor. Something a lot different than what we would originally talk about maybe 3 or 4 months ago. 3 or 4 months ago, practically every exchange that you had, even Coinbase, you could buy in here, hold on to the coins, and just wait it out. Not do anything. Wait it out all the way to the top. Here's where things get different. If you guys are still holding here, there's a good chance we're going to reverse down. And if you're buying in long, well, there's going to be a drop and you might see potentially no FUD, but your profits or your earnings halved, 50%, because this is going to be about a pretty big drop from $9,000, $10,000 all the way down to $5,000, $6,000. It's going to get halved. So consider that when investing. There's a good chance we're going to reverse downwards, and that's why shorting becomes so important. You're buying a big piece at a certain price, a Bitcoin. Let's say you buy it at 10K Bitcoin, then you sell it. With that money that you pretty much have, you buy it back when the coin drops. Let's say it drops to 5,000, you buy it back in, and you return the Bitcoin back to the website. Let's say DueDEX, for example, and you keep the difference in profit. So if you bought it at 10, sold it, now you have 10K fiat. Buy it back at 5,000 to return the original Bitcoins you borrowed. You can keep the difference in between, which is $5,000. It's absolutely genius, and I love doing it. Now, obviously, you're not going to see that emotion on DueDEX, but that is in reality what you're doing when you click the sell short button. So consider that, because it's huge. It's a huge opportunity. There's a very big chance we are going to drop. And if you do not have DueDEX, then I really don't know what other website to recommend you to, because this is the only one I've been using for months now, and I haven't had a single issue with it. They pay out exactly when they say they're going to pay out. They give me the bonus exactly when they say they are. It's so easy to withdraw. The times that it withdraws at is exactly the same as it always has been. Never had any problems, so definitely check it out. The link is in the description to DueDEX as well. I really try to keep these videos around 10 minutes long, but I could definitely talk for another 20. That's the crazy part, but I don't want to hold anyone up. I know we missed out on some of the other cryptos like XRP, but ultimately a lot of these show just consolidation. I mean, just to really give you a quick recap, Litecoin and Ethereum look very similar in regards to their past couple of days. Resistance, middle moving average resistance, this uptrend acting as a resistance, as support, which is now acting as a resistance. It's a ton of resistance. Good chance Litecoin's going to funnel back down into here. Ethereum, same thing applies. We're getting intertwined with the middle moving average. You can see we're getting rejected on the MACD. If we continue in that regards, we're probably going to break below it, fall to 126. And lastly, with XRP, consolidation. Price is most definitely going to come lower, and we are going to retest 18 cents very soon. Otherwise, that's going to basically sum up today's video, guys. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a general thumbs up, follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial, and make sure to check out my Patreon. Huge shout out to everybody for joining my Patreon. 97 people on our way to 100. Blows my mind. Otherwise, I will see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.